Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel as always. So in today's video I saw that E.L.F Cosmetics came out with their new mint collection. So I wanted to try their new primer, which is the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I forget how much it is, I'll double check that in a second. So here's what it looks like. Have not opened it yet. So the description on the back says it is cruelty-free and vegan, which is awesome. It is water-based, so anytime you use a primer that's water-based, you want to make sure that your moisturizer is water-based, your foundation is water-based, because oil and water do not mix. So if you're using a water-based primer, and let's say an oil-based foundation, which typically would be silicone, typically the foundation will start balling up on the skin, and it's a mess. So always double check your ingredients. The first ingredient in this one is water, so I know that it is water-based. So it says need a cooling refresher. This hydrating vanilla mint scented jelly primer is all that you need. Its unique jelly texture works like glue to grip makeup to ensure that it stays put. Its minty fresh skin loving ingredients will give you a refreshing cooling sensation. Ooh. Infused with hyaluronic acid and antioxidants, your skin will be looking and feeling its very best. Girl, I hope so, because my skin needs some work. So directions. Apply evenly to face prior to makeup application. Once applied, wait 30 seconds before applying the makeup. And then the beauty tip is use clean fingers to pat the product onto the skin. The warmth of your fingers will help the product melt into the skin for an even application. Thought I'd show you guys this on top of just my normal skin prep. And on their website it says that it does retail for $8. So if you guys don't know what E.L.F Cosmetics is, they are pretty much a very, very inexpensive drugstore makeup brand that, I mean, you can get anything from $1 to $10, and their products honestly aren't bad. So I'm very excited to try this product, so let's get started. Alright, so I've already cleansed my face with just some regular makeup remover just to get all the oils off. So I like to, before doing anything, I like to use a toner. And a toner will bring your skin, depending on what type of toner you use, I'm very oily. So the toner will actually bring my pH down to typically what the normal skin should be. This is just a little sample I got from Sephora, and I really like this toner so far. I've noticed that it seems to be smoothing out my skin texture a little bit. So I'm just going to put some on a cotton ball, and starting with my neck, always going in an upward direction. I'm going to grab a new cotton ball, and I always like to start in my T-zone because that's typically where I'm pretty oily. So again, just going in an upward direction. So now that we're all nice and toned, I like to go in with my serums before my creams. The reason why you want to use your serums before creams are serums will actually penetrate the skin a lot deeper. So you want to go all the way deep first, and then the cream will be on top, so that way you can, hydrate the surface. So it's very important to hydrate underneath as well as below. So for my under eye serum, I'm using the Mario Badescu Cellophirm drops. Just going to put a little bit on my ring finger. And I just put this on my under eyes and a little bit on my eyelids as well, and in the temple area. And I always, always, always pat around the under eyes just because you don't want to, pull. It's all about preventing wrinkles. And then while that's setting in, I'm going to use the Sculpt Collagen and Caffeine Facial Serum. Just apply just a little bit everywhere, including my neck. I have no idea what just happened to my neck, but it just got really, really red out of nowhere. Alright, so now we're going to let all that kind of soak in for a second. For my lip prep, either I'll use Aquaphor, but I ran out, so I'm literally just using Vaseline. I honestly love using Vaseline or Aquaphor for my lips. I think it does the trick, and they stay hydrated. Alright, so while the facial serum is seeping in, I'm going to go in with my actual under eye cream, which is the Mario Badescu Hyaluronic Eye Cream. I really like this one because some eye creams can be a little bit too oily, and they seem to make your concealer crease a little bit more. Again, just applying a little bit on my ring finger, just kind of dabbing them together, and just very gently patting this on. Again, as well as the eyelids. I always like to hydrate the eyelids. Especially if you're using like matte eyeshadows and your eyelids are really dry, you're going to see that texture. So now that we have the serums and the eye cream on, I want to go ahead and hydrate the rest of my face with the facial cream. But before I do that, because my skin is so oily, I like to go in with an AntiShine. And so I will do a serum first, so the serum can penetrate all the way down into the skin. On top of that, I'll do the AntiShine. And then from there, I'll put the cream on top of the AntiShine. Now, the reason why you want to put an AntiShine product before your facial cream is because you want the AntiShine to actually suck the oils out of your skin and not the cream. Because I've trialed and error both, and I've noticed when I put the AntiShine on top of the facial cream, it just like sucks all the oils out, and then when I put my foundation on, it's just like a huge dry spot, and it's just awful. So for my AntiShine, I'm going in with the Pacifica brand, and honestly, this is really inexpensive. I want to say it's like less than $10, and I really like it. So I'm putting the smallest amount, and the thing about AntiShine is you don't necessarily want to rub it in like you can to start, but then you want to eventually pat it on because it can start like coagulating and balling over. So I'm only putting this in the areas where I truly need it. So like my chin, my cheeks, and my forehead, because that's where I get really oily. And the cool thing about AntiShine is as you're patting it in, you can literally feel it like getting sticky and pretty much like sucking the oils out of your skin. All right, last but not least, before we finally get to use the primer, now that we've gotten all this, now it is time to use our facial cream, our moisturizer. So again, you always want to make sure that everything that you use, whether you're using silicone based, which is oil, from moisturizers to primers to foundations, always make sure that all the ingredients are, or that at least the base is the same. So again, since this primer is water-based, I am going to use a water-based moisturizer. So I'm going to take the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I'm just going to go in, grab some, put it on my neck, put it all over my face. And again, don't be afraid to, go right over your AntiShine, because the AntiShine will only suck the oils from your skin, not the moisturizer. Alright, so I'm just going to let this soak in for a few minutes and I'll be back. So I've let all the moisturizer and all that good stuff kind of soak in for a few minutes. So now to actually try this. Alright, so it says to pat in with your hands, and the warmth of your skin should kind of help it adhere better, I guess. So let's give her a whirl. God, I'm afraid it's going to like squirt out at me. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. It's like a green goo. Oh my gosh, it's so sticky. Oh god, okay. This is so weird. Alright, I guess we'll just pat it on. It is so sticky. It literally feels like glue. I guess I'm just gonna put it everywhere since I kind of put a lot on. Oh my, I can look at that. It's full on like pulling my skin. All right, I guess I'll wait 30 seconds. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go wash my hands because it's so sticky. Like, it is beyond sticky, but I mean, I'm not complaining at all. This could be a really good product for all we know, but we'll find out in a little bit. So I'm gonna go wash my hands and I'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back. So honestly, my skin feels great. It feels so plump and it doesn't feel as sticky. I don't want to touch it too much to mess up the primer, but it feels really hydrated. So the foundation that I'm using, it is very full coverage, and the reason why I want to test this with a super full coverage foundation is because a lot of times matte super full coverage foundations can get very cakey very fast throughout the day. So I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Velvety Matte Foundation, and on top of that I'm also going to use the Juvia's Place Concealer. And I use this foundation quite often, and I really like it, but sometimes around my chin it can get kind of cakey. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear this all day, and then I'll come back later tonight and see what the verdict is. I'm also just going to use this NYX green to cancel that out since my body decided to freak out over the past few days and break out. Alright, so this primer is supposed to act like glue for your foundation. Uh-oh. Alright. Well, it is blending out. It's definitely not blending out as easy as I thought it would, but maybe you just gotta work fast. I probably realistically should have done the foundation in sections, but along here and like up here it is a little cakey, but I'm not going to discredit the primer yet because my skin has also been really dry, so we'll see. We shall see. Alright, so really quick I'm just going to go in with this peach color corrector before I actually put on concealer. And now the concealer is not as mattifying. Okay, so adding the concealer kind of did help a little bit, just because, like I said, the Juvia's Place concealer is a little bit more dewy finish compared to the foundation. So I'm just going to go ahead and powder my face, and we'll see. So just to finish my face, I'm just going to use, this is the Inglot, I think it's like their Freedom system that you get to choose what colors you want. And I just like to mix these two and do a little bit of contouring. And then for blush, I'm just going to take, this is by Becca and it's called Snapdragon, and it's the most gorgeous blush ever. It's like a peachy pink with like gold reflux, and I just think it looks so good on everybody's skin tone. And then the last thing I want to do for my face is my highlighter. So this is by Inglot, their Sparkle Dust in number 7. And it is pretty, I don't want to show you because it's going to fall, but it's a loose powder. So if you put it on just your, powdered face, it will be a little bit more subtle. So I like to have mine really blinding, so I like to use some sort of moisture spray. And since we have matte on top of matte on top of matte, I am going to go in with the Do You Fresh Glow Setting Spray by Too Faced. And it's got like the most subtle like sparkle kind of, but it doesn't look glittery. Like it makes your skin just look so dewy. So while my face is still wet, I'm going to go in and just do a little something something. And I like to bring it up on my brow bone and a little bit up into my temple. All right, and there we go. So I'm going to see how this, plays out throughout the day. I think I might film in the eyeshadow look that I'm going to do and put that in a separate video. I'm not sure yet, but if I do, I'll link that down below or whenever it comes out. I will say, because I'm going to the doctor's today, so I will be wearing 2 masks. So obviously, there's probably going to be some cakiness and some, messed up foundation by the time I get home and refilm this and show you guys the finished result. So I am putting that out there, but hopefully it'll work out. So if it doesn't, then I'll just refilm it. But yeah, so I will be back in approximately, let's see, it is 1:30 right now. My appointment's not till 2:45 and I'm going to be there for about 2 hours. So I should be back probably by like 6:30ish, depending on traffic. So that will be about 5 hours from now, and yeah, I shall be back. Okay, finally I'm home. It's 6:35, so it's been about like 5-ish hours. Let me first say, because like I said earlier, I was going to the doctor's and I ended up getting blood drawn from both my arms, and I don't do well with blood, so I did pass out and I got very, very sweaty. So honestly, I am a little bit oily, and I haven't dabbed or powdered or anything. And like I said, I was wearing 2 masks and I kept like pinching them. So overall, honestly, like, yeah, my highlight's a little patchy just from the mask. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Like I said, normally I'm so freaking oily, especially like in my T-zone. But honest to God, I think the foundation looks great. Granted, I did use a very mattifying foundation, so obviously that's going to help on top of using the AntiShine. But like I said, overall, compared to because I've used this foundation with this exact same skin prep routine, so I will say I think there is a huge difference using the primer versus not. Because typically I don't really use a lot of primers on myself. My clients I will, but myself I don't know why, I just don't use them. But this one I think I definitely will be using a lot more often because, yeah, my foundation is still on. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, it retails for only $8. I mean, you can't really beat that. So, I think it's definitely worth the money. So if you guys want to try that, go ahead and go to E.L.F. and yeah, get yourself some jelly primer. So I also did buy, this is the Mint Melt Minty, God, I can't say that. Mint Melt Minty Fresh Cooling Cleanser. And I've been using this to remove my makeup, and it's pretty good. I mean, granted, you know, I wear a crap ton of makeup, so I still need to actually use makeup remover. But for a starter, just to, you know, use in the shower and get all the makeup off, it works really well. And I forget how much this one retails, but I'll Google it really quick. And then I also got their Mint Melt Whipped Face Mask, and I've only used this once, but it was really, really nice. That it's a thicker, almost like a clay mask. So it's not a peel off one, you have to wash it, but it seemed a lot thicker than most clay masks, and my skin felt really nice afterwards. So I've only used it once. I'm gonna keep trying it out and see how my skin progresses, but yeah, pretty nice. So I just Googled these two products, and everything's $8. The face wash, the mask, the primer, for 24 bucks. Not too shabby. But anyways, thank you guys so much again for watching. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I also will be filming a video on this eyeshadow look, which right now is crusty and dusty and looks absolutely awful. But I have that already recorded, so I will be posting that probably after this video, maybe a few days later. So definitely keep on the lookout for that. And all of the products, along with my social media, all of that fun stuff will be down in the description box below, as always. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And all right, until the next one, bye!